Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to another session of Living World of Darkness, New York by Night, the Camarilla venue. Tonight, we find Limey fresh from a meeting with the Prince and the Keeper of Elysium, working his way back to Harlem in a yellow cab. But the cab doesn't turn to the north, as it usually should, into northeast Harlem, the location of the club. The cab instead turns to go south. Towards the club belonging to Ghost and the Archfiend's MC. He sends her a message to let her know that he's on his way. Sort of just having a feeling that she'll be there. He has a feeling that we'll find her. And as he pulls up, he gets out of the cab, pays the driver the cash. He's wearing his midnight blue suit, best that he's got because he was in a meeting with the Prince, and the leather trench coat you usually see him in three-quarter length. And he walks sort of quite slopingly towards the entrance with his hand in his pocket and walks in. And this is where we begin our scene. Do I see Ghost in the bar?
We don't need to see her immediately. The bar is quite full. It looks like there's just a general hangout going on between the hangarounds and prospects, a couple of the members. So there's people drinking in the bar, playing pool, that sort of thing, and a couple of the archfiends look up and nod at you as you walk in. You don't get any trouble walking in, of course, because they know who you are. And the office door at the back of the club is opened by Helena, who walks out carrying she's got like a folder full of papers under her arm, and she spots you across the room, and you see sort of a glimmer in her icy blue gaze as she assesses Limey from her stance.
Is this Helena, yeah?
Yeah, she stands out in here like a sore thumb because she's wearing a very crisp, very very tightly tailored skirt business suit, and everybody else is, scruffy as fuck.
Limey looks from his own clothes, which are probably, if anything, slightly shabbier than hers, even though they look a bit more expensive, maybe. Kind of glances her up and down. Evening, Helena.
Good evening.
Let's see your old lady. Where's she?
She tilts her head to the office behind her and reaches her hand in and pushes the door. She's in there. I warn you, she's in a bad mood.
Yeah? Why don't you fill me in on that before I go charging in?
Something about Tremere asshole not letting her in last time, and a lot of trouble with the drugs flow in the city.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the less said about that in public, the better. You think?
Yeah, she doesn't speak loudly. She's got quite a
No.
low sultry tone. She flicks her eyes around the room and she says, I go smoke. You go in. She takes out one of those Sobrani, the cocktail ones, the pink cigarettes, and she lights it before she exits the bar, and she walks out, and a couple of guys follow her. Seem acting as bodyguards.
Yeah, like he kind of glances them up and down just to make sure they're acting as bodyguards. But just he knows this is cool, but like he turns back towards the door and he opens it and walks in. Let's see, cheeky roll. Yeah. He walks in looking quite happy, like sort of just not like really happy, like because Limey's quite a chilled out person, but he sort of walks in with a smile on his face, looking quite pleased. Says, your old lady smokes a brownie cocktail. It's a bit of lipstick for you, ain't it?
Ghost she's leaning back in her chair, and there's a ashtray next to her piled full of cigarettes and ash, and she's got her feet up on the table, and she just sort of cuts her eyes at you as you walk into the room and runs her tongue over her lips in a, I wouldn't say it was exactly aggressive, but it's kind of an annoyed facial expression.
Okay, perception empathy, in which I get no successes. Forget I did anything. Forget I did anything.
She pushes her feet on the desk and pushes herself back into the chair and puts her elbows on the desk and she's a classy lady. What do you want to say?
Well, don't expect any less from you. He pulls out what looks like the end of a joint from inside his hat. Cigarette, people, don't worry. Lights it. So then, you look to be in a foul mood. What do you know from Limey?
Well, just fucking. There's a lot of stuff going on with she looks behind you. Have you closed the door?
He kicks it shut with his heel.
Once the door is shut, she carries on. There's a lot of stuff going on with drugs flow. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting some stuff from the suppliers. There's somebody blocking me out. So, yeah.
Blocking you out?
Yeah.
It's these, the kings or whatever they call themselves.
She taps up on her laptop and turns it towards you, showing that a news article about 2 people that have died from ecstasy overdoses in the last week. And the particular drug that is known as a red pill.
Shit. Limey, like the happiness just drops from his face. Right.
This is bringing a lot of extra heat. You know, the cops are cracking down on drugs raids pretty hard right now, and I'm having trouble getting any flow anywhere. So it's clogging up my money and pissing me right off.
Right. Okay. Look, here's the deal. I'm gonna lay some heavy shit on you. All right? That red pill. I picked some of it up at the rave. Decided to take it back to Victor. He tested it. It contains blood. I suspected as much. It contains blood of some hardcore brother, low generation diabolist.
What the fuck? She laughs, but it's kind of an empty, despairing laugh.
Limey kind of nods along with a laugh, like, yeah. And there's a Sabat pack in town.
Yippee-ki-yay.
However, the Sabat, if they were in a tangling mood, because there's only 1 pack left by the sounds of things, but if they were in a tangling mood, I reckon they'd have done so by now. Our first priority, I reckon, is this red pill.
Well, if there's only 1 in the pack, they're probably just trying to build resources.
Exactly, we'll deal with them in due course. This red pill is something that could bring this city apart. Play it down to the prince, but enough people get jacked up on this shit. That revolution those leaflets talking about, gonna happen. And while I dig the sentiment, revolution's bad for business.
Yeah. I see it happen now and again. It's just bringing more chaos to the fucking system. I don't need this shit right now. Especially as I'm persona non gratis with those up top.
Right. Here's the thing. Exactly, right, exactly. This is a worse Sabat at best anarch. Either way, it's an anarchic sentiment, revolution, the red pill, feelings of anger, profound emotion, right? An anarch would never help bring something like that down. So I suggest you and me solve this problem. We had a couple of boys with their ears to the ground. We're going to find the supplier, and then we're going to follow him. We're going to take it back to the man in charge, the guy's putting his blood in these things. You dig?
Yeah. Yeah, I dig. Well, it benefits me as well as you. I don't want to lose any money. Helena's doing her fucking nut about the books, so we'll see what we can find out.
Right. Look, so you and me both make some calls, consolidate our information. I reckon that way we can find somebody who's pushing it to the dealers. We follow the supplier to the main supplier.
What's the common denominator in this rave? I mean, did you notice any gangs moving around in there, or?
No gangs. No gangs that I could see. Actually, just in case that's not true, I think you said there were none, but if there were, can I make a memory check?
You can make a memory check if you like.
He's like, well, none of our boys, but none except our boys. But what's a memory check? It's intelligence.
It's just intelligence, I think.
Just intelligence. Shit. Look at that, 2 successes. Get in.
You don't remember seeing any gangs that you know of other than your own?
Right. I sent some of our boys in because I thought a rave was a bit of a weird thing to happen in this day and age, especially a proper illegal free party, but there were no boys in there except my own. All there were...
Not that we know of.
What now?
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of. Kind of got caught off following these little punker kids they had announcing on the stage. Turns out they don't know much. So they certainly have.
Well,
What?
from what I found out, whoever's doing this is keeping themselves pretty anonymous.
No.
I don't really know
I
any
don't
more
think
than you.
Well, I don't think they count on coming up against us. We've got more feet on the street than coppers on the beat. And with this, Limey pulls out his phone. Would you like me to make a street charisma? What would you like me to do?
You can. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to speak to my boys who handle dealing and sort of like information in the area. We're in Harlem, so it's like a drug capital, and they were only found in the docks. So I'm rolling my street to try and find somewhere we can link back to a supplier.
You can roll your street leadership, and it's difficulty 7.
Okay, right. Do you know what's awful? I don't think I have any leadership. I have no leadership.
That's
How could
alright.
this happen?
Just roll your.
Right,
Just roll.
in that case, I would like to roll my spend a point of willpower too, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Cool. Oh, but he didn't need it. He's got 4 successes.
What are you asking?
Alright, listen, brother. There's this new drug just come up on the market, right? Coppers think it's ecstasy. Calling it the red pill. It's been going around these illegal free parties they've been setting up. Said to make you feel feelings of like anger and rage and extreme passion, like real deep shit, man. Like, I need to find out who's supplying this stuff because, well, cops are going wild about it and it's cutting in on profits. Hook me up with some info.
Yeah, it's a bit of a brain scratcher, boss. Thing is that this drug isn't available on street level, which means that it's not being dealt on street corners or in crack houses. It's only being dealt at these parties or at private events. I read on the internet about some people taking it at a fight club and then ODing. So somebody's setting up these events or going into these events and distributing these drugs.
Exactly, right? This boy wouldn't tell me anything. I didn't want to press him in front of everyone. But we found it. Look, I need you to give me anything you can. Any of these boys around that you know of. Any of the three.
um, Whoever it is going to have a lot of clout because they've clogged up quite a lot of the pill trade for everybody else. Nobody else is able to get anything. So you're looking at the Colombians deal with most of the pill cutting kind of stuff. I can give you an address of somebody that normally cuts and distributes.
Yeah, but if the shit hasn't gone through their hands, then what are you giving me, really?
Well, they might be able to tell you who they're distributing to that's stopping the business going elsewhere. Because these Colombians aren't selling to anybody else right now.
Out of character, I'm sorry. Is he saying that they're the ones dealing with the drug?
There are basically, what's the best way to explain it? There's the Colombians bring in the drug and they cook it, they make it, and then they sell it to all sorts of other dealers who add their own shit to it or whatever. The very source, this source that your guy knows, is stopped selling to him and to his other dealer friends. So he thinks that whoever has stopped him from selling is paid him off enough to buy up a whole stash for at least a couple of months' worth.
Alright, okay. The best you got, lay it on me. And while you're at it, I'll tell you what, if you find me any of these free parties that are happening in the nearby area and soon, then, well, we'll talk about a bonus for you.
Alright. I'll text you the address, but be careful, I think the cops are onto it.
Onto this Colombian's gaff?
Yeah.
Well,
They're watching. They're watching the whole trade like a hawk. I can't even leave my apartment right now. They arrested a couple of my buddies last night for street dealing. So
alright, okay. Got an idea. Thanks, brother.
no
Drop by
problem.
the club sometime, I'll give you a hand. Easy. He hangs the phone up. And then he looks at the address. Is it in Manhattan?
No, it's in Queens.
He looks at it. His police have no power there. He looks at it. Shit. Alright, Ghost. We found a bunch of Colombians. Their supply's been stopped by a mysterious individual. My boy reckons they've paid him off. Sorry, this guy's paid him off to stop selling. Reckon they might have some info for us. However, it's not in Manhattan, so I can't use any of our contacts to get rid of the old bill. No, they're going in.
Hmm. I think another good lead would be to try and find out when any of these illegal parties are going on and attend as punters, not as investigators. See if we get offered some of this drug.
Well, my boy's going to text me an address for one of them as soon as he finds it.
Yeah. But for now, we can investigate this lead.
Well, let's do that. Yeah. Looks as though he's like, listen, I don't want to go on bikes. We've got to get a cage for this thing. You in?
Sure.
You can drive, right?
Yeah, I can drive.
You got a car handy?
I can grab us one, yeah.
Groovy. I'll meet you up front.
Ghost makes a phone call, and after a couple of minutes, you're able to get hold of a car. Just sort of generic car.
Perfect. Alright, shotgun. Yeah, gets around the car, opens the door, slips in.
So Ghost will get into the driver's seat and she'll ask you for the address.
He reads it out. Uh, and then he's like, got a sat nav handy, whatever they call them.
She types it into her iPhone and puts it up on the dash and then follows the directions. It's going to take about 25 minutes to get there because the conditions on the road aren't great. There's a bit of traffic. It's snowing.
Yeah, man. That fucking snow, right?
So do you want to just skip ahead or?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, you drive along, nothing happens, blah blah blah. You drive into a pretty rundown neighborhood. It doesn't look like it's the ghetto basically.
Yeah.
It's projects. There are houses, but they're not particularly well kept up houses. A couple of trailers parked in the driveways and that sort of thing. There's nobody around. There's snow on the ground. A couple of cars. You can see lights on in some of the buildings. When you pull up outside this individual house, there's no lights on. There's a car in the driveway, but there's nobody in it.
Wow, man. I thought Harlem was rough.
You should see Detroit. Go smirks.
Just saying the other day, who the fuck would go to Detroit?
Used to hang out there when I was on traveling through with some people that used to ride the dragon with me. It's not a nice, pretty place.
It's not a shot. Hey, we're in New York now.
Speaking,
In Detroit, this is like a walk in the park compared to the Gaza Strip, you think?
speaking of which, I had some woman come up to me the other day, and she claimed to be a dealer in heroin. She offered me to sample some of her wares. Of course, I declined.
Yeah.
But she's interested in setting up a business deal.
Yeah.
Ghost hands you a business card that this woman gave her. Out of character. I think her name's Danica.
What, is she a new player?
She's actually Vinny's character, who's a werewolf, but I don't know that in character.
Okay, cool. Yeah, takes the card. She's dealing in smack, you say?
Mm.
Yeah.
I said I'd have a word with you before we set up a meet.
Well, we've been known to dabble in a bit of a dusty brand. I mean, pity to see what it does to the community, but well, we'll get from somewhere. Alright. Okay. We'll meet, I guess. Let's bring a couple of boys with us. It sounds a little bit sketchy to me, approaching the street like that.
Yeah. I'd like to think it was a chance encounter, but I don't really believe in those things these days.
Chance. Who can say? He slips it into his inside pocket. Right, okay. Got a gun?
Ghost pats herself down mockingly. Like, did I bring a gun? And she sort of lifts her shirt and there's a gun tucked into her. Of course I fucking did.
Yeah, very, very funny. He sort of turns around like, what's her gun? Is it bigger than his?
It's. I don't know much about guns, to be perfectly honest, out of character, but it's just like a standard street pistol.
Cool.
Nothing,
cool.
nothing exciting.
But he turns and his hand wraps around the gun in his own pocket. Um, oh shit, I didn't specify I was bringing a heavy revolver. It's just a .25. Trusty little thing it is. He sort of like puts his gloved hand around it and steps out into the cold, lighting a cigarette, so it looks like he's breathing.
Ghost steps out and she looks around. A couple of dogs are barking in the distance, but seems very deserted in the street right now. It's quite late at night, so people don't tend to hang around the projects late at night. It's too dangerous.
Why is it, right, that in every rundown shitty neighbourhood, from London Soho, 1958 of course, to where we are, present place, there's always dogs barking in the distance?
Who knows? Soundtrack to the madness, I guess.
Yeah. Far out. Anyway, you reckon we knock?
Yeah.
Jesus. Walks over and just with his cigarette in his hand, taps his knuckles on the back of the door.
The door, after a few minutes nobody comes to the door, but you can see into the building. It's one of those, do you know what I mean? Like they have in America, they have like two doors, and they have like a inner door and an outer door with like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that, and you can see you can see through, like, it's not glass, it's like mesh, but you can see through it.
Green door.
Yeah, you can see through it. It doesn't. It's just like a corridor of a house. It doesn't sound like there's anybody inside, but you feel free to make a perception check if you wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Good.
It doesn't. You can't hear any movement from inside.
Okay. Limey just pops the switchblade out of his pocket, pushes it into the wire mesh, tears, like he sort of goes on a right angle on the corner, then just reaches his hand into the hole he's made and pulls down on the inner handle.
There was no real need. The door wasn't locked in the first place, but as you watch do that, well, you didn't try the door, so how would you know? But yeah, you can get in that way. The door is not all that sturdy. It's quite a flimsy door, to be honest. So you can get in.
Okay, I go in.
It's a you walk into a corridor first. To your right is a living room. To your left is a kitchen.
Okay.
And there's a small lamp on, giving a little bit of illumination. There's a couch, TV, that sort of thing. It smells a bit damp, a bit dusty.
Putting 1 point of blood into my dexterity.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, Lime he actually actively has the gun held at his side now. And he pops his head into the living room and looks around.
Nobody there. Couch. There's some toys on the floor. It looks like children have been here recently. But
Intelligence investigation. Do I see anything?
in the living room, no. Just signs that people have been in here, like the toys and like ashtray and a couple of cans of Coke or a beer.
Okay. He turns his head back at Ghost and shakes. Shakes his head.
Ghost looks around. She pokes her head into one of the bedrooms. Opens the door. It's just a bed.
Anything else?
Or a bed and a wardrobe and that sort of thing.
Intelligence investigation.
Nothing of note.
I move down the corridor.
Okay. You're going into the kitchen now. As you go into the kitchen, you can see that there are there's equipment for cutting and making drugs on the table. There's like some face masks, latex gloves, paper, like what do they call? Like little bags you put drugs in. You know what I mean? Like little
Baggies.
plastic baggies, and remnants of dust on the table.
Um, investigation intelligence. How recently have people been here?
Pretty hard to tell. You could guess within the last couple of days at least.
Okay. He moves out of the kitchen, goes upstairs.
Oh, there's no upstairs. It's just a one-floor building.
Oh, is it one floor, is it?
Hmm.
Any other rooms?
A bathroom and a smaller bedroom, which looks like a kid's bedroom.
This is fucking weird, man. My boy came up with crap information. I guess we operate in a limited capacity outside of Harlem.
I don't know. Ghost sort of fingers around in the kitchen at stuff and opens drawers. What about this? She reaches into one of the drawers, grabs out a baggie, and chucks it to you.
He catches it, looks at it.
Red pills.
Fuck, these guys are cutting this shit. Oh, fuck me. Alright. Okay. This doesn't take us any further, though. Where the hell are they?
Well, they could come back. We could have somebody watch this place.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think the best. I mean, how did you find out about the blood in the previous pills? Like you had it tested or something?
Had to hand them over to Victor.
Maybe do the same thing, and we can see if we can find out where these pills are being distributed fresh.
Exactly.
I think I think
That's where we
that's
need
our
to go.
best. I think that's our best course of action. You know, because then we could maybe infiltrate or get right to the source. There's got to
Well,
be a
that's
reason that this person's doing it at these specific events. If they wanted to make money out of it, then they wouldn't just be doing it there. They'd be doing it on the street all the time.
yeah, exactly. But they're trying. I think that's the point. They're trying to start something. They're trying to instigate something. They're trying to make like a cult of, I don't know, revolutionary passion. It's all very. We are the free people, isn't it? Shit. Anyone else we can try? Alright, we'll hit one of these raves up.
I'll have a check. Ghost takes out her phone, makes a phone call.
Limey stands politely nearby, listening.
She's talking to somebody about local fight clubs. See if there's anything going on in the city that might be slightly underground. And after a few minutes, she hangs up. Yeah, there's a fight club. She does sort of air quotes that meets up on a Friday night, not too far from where we live actually. Abandoned parking lot.
Brilliant.
We can try there and see if our mystery person turns up. If they're trying to gain what we think they're trying to gain, they probably will. From what I hear, this sort of drug is sweeping the underground. Apparently, it makes you stronger. So
Oh yeah.
underground fighters will want to use it, you know, especially if money is
Sounds
involved.
sounds a lot like Goulding, doesn't it?
Yeah. Except this person's not being careful about who they ghoul, and if they don't get fed, then we're going to have
Exactly.
frenzied ghouls on our hands.
Exactly. It's like a perfect way to start a revolution. To be fair, you got to admire his cleverness. But yeah, let's head to this parking lot of yours that we can't dig up.
Mhm.
Is that tonight or tomorrow? Did you say?
It's tomorrow.
All right. Cool. Groovy.
Let's get out of here. I think we're on the right track, but we need to be careful. I think this guy's smart, so he's not going to show his cards too early.
No, you're right. It just seemed like such a simple way to solve it, you know?
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
worry. We'll
Right. This is fly back to him. That's the way drugs work. It's all really simple.
It's quite clever actually. If I was dumb enough, I might have thought of it. You know, put a bit of blood in the
Yeah.
drugs, makes it addictive.
Lonnie gives her like a sideways glance, like, "Hey, no."
I'm not that fucking dumb, you know.
I know you're not. I know you're
I
not.
don't. I know. I've been in the camera long enough to know what the Tremere can do. If I was dumb enough to put my own blood in the pills or whatever else I was selling, I know it'd be found out within 5 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Okay, and we can pull away from the scene. There's sirens in the distance, not following you or approaching, just sort of giving an ambient backdrop to the cityscape. The sense of increased police presence and monitoring is quite heavy on the atmosphere.
Lonnie listens to the sirens and he smokes out of the window. The ghost. I've got something to tell you.
Okay.
All right. Look, keep it cool because you're driving. But I'm afraid only you might be able to help. Circus Knox, right?
Mhm.
The Prince intends to go there tomorrow night. The idea of making some sort of example. Something about playing puppets against each other. You know why he was in this all along. He wanted them to stay in the city so that he could watch them make a fuck up and then indoctrinate the left behinds into the Camarilla. Hold the adults up on a pedestal to say how shit they are. Clever old bastard. I'm going. Mandatory. Well, I figure I should be there anyway. But be careful of your friends, alright? But don't do anything stupid, because they're hanging on by a thread here. Big.
You see Ghost clench the steering wheel quite hard when you start talking about it. She distracts herself by her driving, looking out the window. She doesn't say anything for a few minutes.
Limey sits and smokes quite sheepishly.
When you were human, Limey, do you remember your mother?
Yeah.
I don't. Closest thing I ever had was Mort. I understand why the prince and the keeper and others would find this distasteful, dissatisfying, but you can't change who you are or where you come from.
No, you cannot. You can't, but people will use that as a stick to hit you with until someone proves them otherwise. I don't want anything bad to happen to Circus Knox, but if I step out of line, that man's going to come down on me like a ton of bricks. He wanted destruction on a kindred tonight. He wants as many people to be there as possible. He wants me to set an example.
Mort's been around a long time. She's clever, manipulative, cunning, and very charming. I trust her to keep things in control as much as she needs to. Keep the diplomatic stance. I think it's best if I don't attend. She was always a lot more controlled than I was. My protective instincts would get the better of me and then we'd all be in a fucking mess.
Yeah.
I think it's something I'm just going to have to let go of and trust her to look after herself. After all, it's something I left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Groovy.
Ghost, eventually we'll pull in and drop you off wherever you happen. She'll drop you off at your club, not knowing where your particular haven is personally.
Don't you?
No.
Haven't you guessed? No, but he smiled and thanks, Ghost. And look, we should do this more often, work together. I do miss your company.
I think that the court would miss it all the more if I wasn't here to back up their hefty claims. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I keep telling her.
Fighting talk's all well and good, but when you've got the Sabbat knocking on their door, they tend to resort more to action, and then the tower falls. It's no good for any of us. I personally don't want Anarchs or Sabbat in New York.
Which is why they need people like you and me. But I'll tell you what though, the Sheriff Larcane and all that, people don't like you for it. People have gone on jobs without me, right, without asking me.
So put your
The
foot
chap
down.
who Kindred capture, I was only there for the questioning. To be fair, it was me who got the information, and it's me who's going to have to kill him, but they all went in there, just didn't even ask. But didn't even know how.
I think you need to be a little bit more of the bruiser that I know you are. And a little bit less of the harpy. You dig?
I can dig it.
She shuts the door, lights a cigarette. Good night, Limey.
Good night, Ghost.
And with that, Ghost pulls away into the distance.
Limey sort of taps the hood of the car, goes, watch it drive up the road with some speed, considering it's been snowing heavily. He sort of pulls on the cigarette, blows it into the air, which it gets a paid. Before turning into the club and walking to the no entry door marked next to the stairs that lead down into the club, before turning a pair of keys into a lock, turning them and walking inside. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we end our scene. Thank you, Lisa, for STing and for playing. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, people, for watching. Good night.